Hi, I'm Nate Bronner with the Virginia Cooperative Extension and the Master Gardener Program, and I'd like to welcome you back to my garden. Spring brings beautiful weather and a welcome opportunity to get outside and enjoy the outdoors. Unfortunately, it also means that mosquitoes are breaking their dormancy and are beginning to multiply. Most of us don't want to share our yards with mosquitoes, so what can we do to have a more enjoyable time outdoors without being ravaged by mosquitoes? I'd like to share with you a few tips on how to do that at home. The first thing to remember when dealing with nuisance pests like mosquitoes is that the most effective way to deal with them is to deal with them in the larval stage of their life cycle. Treatments that target an adult population are notoriously ineffective and wasteful, and none of us want that. Mosquitoes lay their eggs in or near a water source, usually stagnant water. They don't need much, just a capful will take care of their needs. So if you have things in your backyard that collect and hold water, like old tires, or saucers, like this, or even an old pot that's laying out in your garden, you want to lay it in such a manner that it's not going to be collecting water. A note with pots with curved lids like this, that even when you turn it upside down, it can collect water along the lip here that is enough for mosquitoes to breed in. So you want to be careful about that. Being vigilant about this will eliminate much of your mosquito problem because mosquitoes can't travel very far. If you see a mosquito in your yard, chances are that it either was born and bred in your yard or very close by. So there's a role for neighbors to play as well. Encourage your neighbors to do the same, and it'll make a big difference in your neighborhood. What about if you have a bird bath, or a pond, or an area of water in your yard that's always wet? Well, you have a couple of options. A fountain or a bird bath that looks like this is in desperate need of a cleaning and should be done regularly. You can clean your bird bath once a week with a mixture of 1 part white vinegar to 9 parts water. You can add goldfish to your ponds to help eat the mosquito larvae. You can also use mosquito dungs. They look like this and they contain a bacteria called Bacillus thuringiensis israelianus. That bacteria targets mosquito larvae and only mosquito larvae. It's safe for fish, it's safe for humans, it's safe for bees and pollinators, it's safe for everything in nature except for mosquito larvae. And this bacteria will attack that larva and will kill it. So if you have a bird bath or a pond that doesn't have much movement, you can put a mosquito dunk in there. You can use a pump, even a solar-powered pump, to keep the water moving, like this. In addition to eliminating standing water sources on your property, you can also plant plants that mosquitoes tend to avoid. Mosquitoes, like most insects, are much more sensitive to smell than we humans are. Mosquitoes really don't like certain plants that are very fragrant, like fragrant herbs, or like catnip, or like wax myrtles, or marigolds. They will avoid landing on these leaves if they can help it. And if a yard has a lot of them, they'll tend to avoid that yard for other yards that don't have as high population of those plants. It's a way to keep the mosquitoes from moving into your yard. Lastly, you can supplement both of these control measures with some personal protection. Wear clothing with long sleeves and long pants. Use repellent sprays that contain DEET or lemongrass and eucalyptus oil to repel mosquitoes. Some of these lemongrass eucalyptus sprays have been shown to be just as effective as DEET without the side effects at keeping mosquitoes at bay. Or you can burn a citronella candle to give area protection. There are some mosquito control techniques that you might want to avoid. There are companies that market things like bug zappers to kill the mosquitoes in your yard. But these bug zappers will attract insects indiscriminately and will end up killing more beneficial insects than mosquitoes, throwing off the balance in your backyard, to your detriment. I'd avoid those. Then there are companies that promise to spray your yard for mosquitoes. They commonly use chemicals called pyrethroids or pyrethrins. These chemicals are natural and synthetic neurotoxins that not only will kill adult mosquitoes, but the EPA has found that they are highly toxic to honeybees and other beneficial insects. They will kill the mosquitoes along with the butterflies and the bees and the honeybees and the dragonflies and the fireflies and the natural predators of mosquitoes. They'll also kill the songbirds that come across these insects and eat them, and they will die a painful death. These chemicals do nothing to kill the larval stages of the mosquitoes, and in fact, they're highly toxic to our aquatic ecosystems. If you have your yard sprayed with or fogged with these chemicals, it might cause a temporary decrease in the mosquitoes, but it will also kill off all of the mosquitoes' predators. So when the mosquitoes do return to your yard, and they will return to your yard, all of the natural animals and insects that keep those mosquitoes at bay will have been scared off by these neurotoxins. You will have just paid a company to make your mosquito problem worse. So to keep the mosquitoes out of your yard, remember the 3 main points. Number 1, eliminate sources of standing water in your yard. Number 2, plant plants that mosquitoes avoid. And number 3, supplement all of that with citronella candles and repellent sprays. If you'd like to learn more, you can contact York County Mosquito Control at 890-3790. Or you can check out a publication from Virginia Tech. I'll leave a link to that at the end of this video. Thanks for joining me again in my garden, and have a great spring.